Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Hussein, your co-host Alex this time, Chidong, as we all know him. I would have said welcome back to Outside the Box, but we don't have... We're changing the name, aren't we?
Yeah.
We want you guys to help us pick a name because we realized that Outside the Box is an unsurprisingly very common name for a podcast.
It's not too common. It's just one other podcast channel has the same name.
But they're big.
So when you know they're not, it's just when you look up Outside the Box podcast, that one shows up as well. So it's
but
like
we don't even show up on the first page.
Okay, now we do because I changed the names of the.
Okay, anyway, help us pick a new name.
Yeah,
please. Also, as you'll notice, we got rid of the fancy Yeti mics because either they suck or we suck. I'm betting on the fact that we suck.
Well, okay, so on our YouTube videos that you guys watch on the other channel,
I sound great.
Yeah,
there's no problem
with these mics that we use, and with the camera mic that when we don't use these mics, like the external ones, you sound fine. Actually, this camera has a really good mic built in, the Lumix S5.
It has a good mic, and yeah. I think it also has a really good mixer built in.
And it has a wind reduction and sound blocking stuff.
It's better than what we can do. So if we got a real soundboard or a mix, what is it called? A mixer? If we got a real mixer and this guy knew what he was doing with media, we could. By the way, applications open for media positions. He's useless. I'm getting rid of him.
I don't want to be here anyways.
Look at this. We're using what are these random?
You guys bought this on Amazon.
Yo, they're called Happy Element or something.
They're $20.
And they're random. Yeah, and they're garbage mics, but they work well. This is so look at how clear the sound quality is.
Yeah, it's good. We've never had issues with when we're using the mics. We've never had issues with sound.
I wonder how it is if we talk quiet though. Let's not scream like we always do.
Yeah.
Let's talk nice and quiet.
We always scream. Though.
It's still even if I talk quietly, it's still the voice meter is so good. What is it? What is that called? A decibel meter?
Yeah, decibel.
Yeah, look at the decibel meter is great.
I actually reduced it too, so it's not.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. Peaking. Anyway, help us pick a new name.
Yeah. We'll post
also
on our
help us pick an intro. What do you guys want to hear on an intro, man? He keeps telling me I need an intro, but I'm yo, what do you want me to say?
You gotta make every podcast consistent. The beginning of every podcast should start the same way.
You know what? The beginning of every podcast is gonna start with me eating chocolate. Last time I had this nice caramel chocolate, and these guys are like, "Oh, that's too loud, Hussein. Don't use it. Stop using it." They tried to edit out me eating my chocolate. So you know what? Every podcast is gonna start with me loudly opening chocolate.
No, but I think it's better now with these mics because I had the headset on last time, and Alex, the other Alex, was trying to talk about his LF4 and then you're just doing that.
I want you guys to hear all the crackles. Let me eat my chocolate.
Okay, can we get into the actual stuff after the chocolate? Because we're
start. You suck as a co-host.
I don't know.
Bring Anna back.
Yeah, please. They don't like Anna.
What?
All the comments say they don't like Anna. They'll fire Anna, get Alex on here. They get not me, the other Alex.
Yeah, Moonshine. Why?
Yeah, because you guys actually talk. Okay, let's just start with this because it's the very first
I wonder if the mic picks up my chewing. You guys wanted ASMR, right? Here's ASMR.
No. Anyways, okay, let's start. So if you guys don't know, Anna does all the notes for us. So this is my first time reading the notes. So we're getting surprised by all the questions. So.
Indeed, I'm always okay.
So
I don't read the notes. They pass them hey, is this good for the podcast? And I'm like, sure.
I'm like,
I never read it.
You have a whole day to read it and prepare. And then he's like, nah,
not me, man.
Okay, well, I'm gonna skip the random stuff. Let's just go to RZ. So our most recent YouTube video, with the Z.
Yeah, got a surprising amount of hate. But so not even the YouTube comments are okay, but I saw people posting it on Facebook, right? They're sharing it, and some people they dyno with the hood open, bro. Show me a shop that doesn't dyno with the hood open. The only shops that don't are ones that have massive air ducts that are meant to simulate real world. Yeah, a dyno doesn't simulate real world. It's just a tool. And I even said it, I would put a disclaimer there, yo, that's why I said don't focus on the peak numbers. We're just looking at gains in general to see if intakes matter at all. And that's why I didn't put a ranking of 1, 2, 3. I was I just personally like the boosted 6 because they sound great, but all 3 intake types that we tested today are fantastic. And I even said on the street, you would get an air dam effect from the ram air coming in. So I'm I don't understand the hate. It's just people who didn't bother it's probably people who didn't bother actually like watching the whole thing. They just want to complain.
So I made multiple posts on our social media, like even before the video came out, because I wanted people to know. I want them to get the whole context of the whole video and not just look at this made more power and get this. I even made him. I'm sure if you guys watch the video, I made him do the first part of the video is him saying, watch the full video. Don't just look at the peak number. Ooh, this make the most power and I'm gonna get that. It's not always just about the peak dyno numbers. There's way more to that when it comes to actual performance on the street. And I'm sure he's been tuning these cars for a while now. He knows a lot about these cars. I'm just talking out of my ass apparently. But dude, I don't
understand. Like this one guy, I think it was one of our customers, Ivan, posted. Someone was asking about the boosted 6 shorties and like, hey, here's some results, right? Mm-hmm. Ivan didn't even say anything. It wasn't like hey, boosted 6 versus this or that. He just posted it. It was random dudes going off on him in the comments, like, oh, this is bullshit testing, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I didn't say it was perfect.
Yeah, we made the disclaimer multiple times in the video saying, bro, please don't take this at just this.
Yeah, speaking of which, are you gonna try? I think we should at this point just try 60 to 130 with the boosted 6, 2.5. And then toss in the AMS intakes.
Yeah.
See what it does. We got the inner chiller installed, so we can at least get temps down and we can make it legit.
It's just so hot out, and during the day,
inner chiller, bro.
Mexico is a long trip, by the way. It takes a lot of time, and I know. I asked you guys what you guys think of these kind of content. If you guys want us to make more testing videos, comparison videos, and more long form and more informational videos. But the other thing about that is it takes way more time and way more effort to put together a video like this. Of course, this video was only a comparison between 2 intakes and stocks.
Yeah.
So
you know what? That's actually a very good point. People are like, "Oh, but we want to put up more." Don't get us wrong, but I understand why other people don't. It's a lot of time, man.
I'm not saying it's not worth it, but
time that we spend doing that is not. It's taking away from actual daily tasks that we have. I fall behind on emails. He falls behind on shipping and media. I mean, it is media, but we're sitting there doing this. We can't take away our techs because our techs are working on shit that makes us money. Mm-hmm. And it's so, we're not the sole. It's not our intakes. We're not making money off selling intakes. I mean, sure, you can buy them from us. We're distributors or resellers, distributors, whatever. We sell AMS, dealers. We sell AMS parts and boosted 6 parts, but yeah, I don't. Why are we ranting?
For example,
are we ranting because we're annoyed that people bitched about it? Or are we ranting just for ranting?
I'm just saying, I'm just commenting, on what people said. For example, somebody asked in our YouTube comments, if we can do a comparison between 2.5-inch downpipes versus 3-inch downpipes versus lower downpipes versus full downpipes. If you're gonna do it on the same car, well, you have to install and take off every set of downpipes because full downpipes lowers and stock uppers and full. It's just bro, I would actually
be extremely hard because by the time that you got one install done, I mean, look, we're not slow, but I don't think we're the fastest either. But even if we were the fastest shop in the world, at minimum, I think the fastest anyone's ever done full downpipes that I've ever heard of is 2.5 hours. The conditions change so much in the day that it's no longer an accurate assessment.
That's if you're lucky and you don't have to drop the motor sometimes for full downpipes.
Yeah, sometimes from factory, the V-bands come clocked in a way that it's just impossible to reach.
First Z, we had to drop the motor to do the downpipes. That was the very first thing we did, probably, I think. And this one, we were lucky with the second one.
It was clocked easily, but
it was so pain in the ass. Ronnie still spent a lot of time on it because it's a very hard to get to clamp without, I mean,
I think it would be cool to do, but at that point, it's
just, I think, I don't know. It's just, it's a lot of work, and I don't know, what, we can really get out of that. We generally just recommend whatever setup for what your goal is.
I mean, I think the only reason we even did the intake thing is people always asked us about intakes, and I was like, you know what, let's try it. I wasn't out there to be look, this is the end all be all for intakes, man. I even said we don't have an R&D facility. There's better ways to test equipment, better ways to test parts. Full downpipes, you do real flow testing.
I think when it comes to downpipes, there's no reason to compare lower downpipes versus full 3-inch downpipes.
It's they're better.
If you're gonna do this, if you're gonna do a full build, do 3-inch and do full downpipes.
We should not put chocolate in front of me because I'm just gonna keep eating I'm gonna get fat from doing this podcast.
All right. Anyways, let's get to our first question.
That wasn't a question?
I guess it is, but let's start with the Z. Let's start with Z because we're already on the Z. So we're prepping it for FL2K and Z Nationals, but I think FL2K is a little bit more important because it's like when we're gonna actually run the car. Well, I mean,
bro, we gotta get data.
We're not doing much to it, like not really anymore. We've already done most.
I wanted to put turbos on it, but we're not gonna have time. It's just there's not enough time to get turbos on, get it tuned, tested, blah blah blah. I think we just go with the stock turbo setup. We already know what we can do. We already have it from our previous Z. So
the 10.5 index FL2K.
Yeah, I mean we ran a 10.7 on 93. So with E we should go. Yeah, 10.5 index should be attainable for sure. So I think we'll just go dial it in for 10.5s. I won't be there. I have some personal stuff. But Alex, the team will be there.
Alex will be tuning.
We're also going to Z Nationals, and we were supposed to run. We were registered for the actual like motorsports part at like Atlanta Motorsports Park. We're supposed to do like the circuit racing, and then they had a decibel. It was 95 decibels.
Oh, that's okay. That's so low.
Yeah, that's like extremely low.
That's like my car idling. That's the super idling.
That actually is the super idling. That shit's loud.
On a cold start with the cat heating.
Bro, I'm pretty sure the Audi on a cold start, even with the stock catback, is louder than that on a cold start. So
I don't know. All these new sanctions on tracks really like.
Is it a new rule though, or is that
this is recent? This is like recent last few let's say the last decade. I remember this is like a tangent, but I remember I was in like middle school, high school, which is not that long ago. They just started the decibel thing at Laguna Seca, and that used to be where all the cars do testings, and like Motor Trend used to do testing there. They can't do that anymore, even with some of the new cars being too loud.
Oh shit!
I remember seeing pictures of like nice ass cars like Porsche like 911s with these like external mufflers on the car just so they can track it at Laguna Seca. It's stupid. Yeah,
it's dumb. Stop building houses near tracks. The track was there before.
Yeah, I don't remember what reason it was, but like it's stupid.
Probably Karen's.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, other than that, like what are we expecting for the Z? I know you kind of already said just run the 10.5 and
Mark did a really good. Was it 10.48? Right?
Did he run faster than that?
I don't know.
This is bad. We should know what our friends are doing.
But you ran a 10.48.
Yeah, no.
And I know AMS ran 10.4s too. So I mean, easily 10.4s.
Yeah.
I would like to see, the inner chiller and hopefully like good DA when we go in 2 weeks. What, 3 weeks? 2 weeks? 3 weeks? Anyway, hopefully it's good DA by then. I'd like to see like a low 10s pass. I really do believe that 9s are possible on like a fully gutted Z with good weather and the perfect launch. On stock turbos, 9s should be doable.
Yeah.
On E, obviously. I don't know. I'll be happy with a 10.4, man. The turbos are so small. They're like screaming up top. We're shifting at like 6K, 61.
5,500. People don't believe me, bro. When I say, dude, I shift at 5,500.
We've like compared it back to back. It's like
to be fair,
like a second difference when you shift higher. To be fair,
we've never run ethanol.
That's true. Ethanol might hold better up top.
So maybe just 93 is really, the turbo is like they can't. I mean,
93 sucks.
Past 5,500.
I wish we could be like Brazil, and just all the cars would run on ethanol. You know that Brazil, every car in Brazil runs on E100.
What? That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
They probably have like some fast cars down there.
No, it's for like, bro, it's for the environment.
Yeah. Oh, it's
more sustainable.
I thought this is touchscreen.
There's some poverty edition laptop.
Oh, it is. I literally. Oh, like. Anyways, okay.
Oh, it's still poverty edition.
This next part, Anna did this because she wants us to talk about the Supra more, even though you guys hate when we talk about the B58, but specifically about our Supra. Like what? It's like the questions are framed a little weird, but like how's the Supra doing now? Like it sounds like it's not doing well, but it's just been running, and okay. I don't know if you guys know, but we talked about the Supra last time, how I got it from Alex. If you guys want to know the whole story behind that, just go watch that episode with Alex and Hussein. But I mean,
he sucks. Okay,
I daily drive this car.
No, let me cut in here.
Okay.
This man will spend money just for the clout on a top mount kit, but he will not spend the money for a manifold. Now, for those of you who are VR30 owners or people who just don't know, doing manifolds on a B58 is like the same as doing a heat exchanger on a Q50.
Except
the manifold is what helps with IATs on those cars,
except
right?
It's like 4 or 5 times the price of a heat exchanger.
Whatever. You spent it on a top mount. I'm not getting into that. Anyway, he finally got a manifold, and then him being the genius that he is, he did not have the fuel line. He did not have the fuel line fittings, and now they're waiting on the right fittings. And I'm like, bro, please just put the manifold on. Let's run. I mean, your Supra does good for what it is, man. 489 on a stock motor with a 6466. It's pretty respectable, I think.
Yeah. Not a lot of the 6466 cars out there
are even in the fours.
The only one I know is that it's published, like they publish the times, is it's a built motor 6466 running like meth, nitrous, everything.
We have very few mods for the times we run. And I think even in the summer, without a manifold, stock manifold, in like 3,000 DA, this guy was still running 5.4s. So it's repeatable. The only thing is his IATs are like, what, 190 at the end of the run?
Well, last time I went out, I let off at 150, 160, and the IAT was at 180. And then when you let off, it spikes up to like over 200. I mean, it cools down quick, but I
love it. I love when they do this to their cars, and then
if I keep flooring it, I'll definitely blow it. But yeah.
So
can't do that no more.
He's got the manifolds. Now we're just waiting on the fuel lines to get done. Now he can run. So hopefully we see like a. What do you think he'll drop with a manifold, bro? And I don't think it's gonna be that much better in good DA because good DA is cold no matter what. But technically the manifold's supposed to flow better too.
Yeah. Well, we'll see about this manifold.
Yeah, maybe he'll pick up like a 10th or something. I don't know. Anyway, so Supra's good.
I'll be happy if it makes like a clean 800 horsepower.
Yeah, so Anna, I guess someone asked about the Atco SummerSlam event last year. So we did take the Supra there, and just like other Alex, Mooney, refused to put proper supporting mods on the car. So we took it there with a stock valve cover.
I don't think he knew. He didn't do his research, and he didn't know.
He didn't do his research. Yeah. He put a 6466, had me tune it, made like 780, and I'm like, yo, let's go. And then he's just like smoking down the track, and we realized that the valve cover blew. And then so
with no catch kit, no ventilation, no crankcase.
This is bad, bro. So he's like, I don't want to run it. This car's so unreliable. Blah 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 blah. And then he was like getting ready to sell it instead of like fixing it up after Atco. And then Chidong bought it, but Chidong doesn't like doing digs. He's a baby, and he's like, I don't want to break it. My axle's gonna break. He's got upgraded axles. He just needs a drive shaft. But he's a baby.
Have axles. We thought we did, but we looked under the car and it's not.
They're stock? Okay, fine. Whatever. He's afraid of breaking shit. Yo, I broke like 4 axles in the S8 already. So like, whatever. But to be fair, when I break an axle, it's him who has to wait for the tow, not me. So anyway, he's afraid to run it up from a dig. So we don't know what it would do on a dig. I think like low 9s probably.
Yeah.
It should trap 150s easy,
I think it dropped 145 last time when Alex took it out.
Yeah, and that was on a bad launch and blowing smoke. It should be like, I think like 150 at least. So yeah, it would be like low 9s.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we're never gonna dig it, so we won't know. We'll just keep doing.
It's a street car.
We'll keep doing bakery runs. It is a fun roll race car, and I think it brings us a lot of attention.
That's the next thing Anna asked.
Do we ever plan on getting back? No, we're never going to take it to a track event, man.
Like how has it been performing on the streets of Mexico?
Yeah, it's been doing good. Why does everyone instigate races for
Bro, because I never do it, and everybody
he's so calm, and then so we hype him up, and we go instigate races, and then he doesn't like it. And then sometimes we instigate races.
Sometimes it backfires.
Yeah, sometimes it backfires.
They don't know who they're talking to.
Yeah. And then we get hustled.
Yeah, because everybody caps about their setup,
And we don't, because like even if we wanted to cap, it's all on Instagram. So like.
Oh yeah, we can't lie about our numbers when we post.
Everybody can just look it up, right? Because it's a shop car.
That's also why people call me out a lot, because they know exactly what I run.
So they only call him out when they can beat him, which is kind of lame. Like
the second somebody runs a faster 6130 than me, and then they instantly call me out.
Yo, people get into like they get into like deep 4s, like almost kind of 3, like, hey yo, I want to race the RACEBOX Supra. And it's like, bro, you're like a full second faster. Like why you picking on the small guy?
Yeah. But, okay.
I mean, for that reason, sometimes I wish that we would do more with the Supra. But like also it's his daily, and I don't want to deprive him of having a reliable daily.
If this was a shop car like you have, that you bought, like the Z, I mean, we'll full send it just like any other shop car.
Like the Z is gonna get full sent, but
yeah,
Supra can stay reliable for him. I mean, manifold should help though.
Yeah, a lot, especially in this weather. But let's moving on to for you now.
My 4 broken axles. Yeah,
your S8, your Audis. So your S8. What's your general opinion on the car so far?
It's the best car I've ever owned, like by far. I didn't think I would like it as much. So the story behind that is I was looking. I don't know if I mentioned. Actually, yeah, no. Even back then, I was looking at a new car, and Mo was like, "Bro, get a 340, like a G20 M340i." I was looking at prices. I'm like, "Yo, these used car prices are ridiculous." People wanted like 45K, 50K for a used M340i. I was like, "Hell no, this thing's not worth that much." And so I didn't want that. So then I started looking at M550s, which have the N63, and those were priced way up because I wanted the M550s that were newer with iDrive. What is it? iDrive 7, right? The newest is iDrive 8, so iDrive 7.
They're nice.
I wanted the iDrive 7 ones because they have all the technology, and I like my self-driving and crap like that. And so I went on the Driver Assistance Pro package, and I just couldn't get it for a good price. So I was like, well, that doesn't work. So then for whatever reason, I just looked up S6s. And I knew nothing about like the 4.0 platform. But back then, yeah. And I was like, oh, S6s are cool cars. And, they come with like cool interiors, not custom, but like the individual interior options and all that. So I looked at some S6s and I was like, yo, these are okay. But like, I'm just curious, what does an S8 go for, right? And then I was like, rabbit hole. Like I started looking at the S8 and I'm like, yo, the S8's better in every single way. The S6 is not that much lighter for one thing. They're pretty heavy. I mean, the S8's a boat. Like it's 4,700 pounds empty. It's like with me and a full tank of gas, it's like easily tipping 5,000.
When you say that car's almost 5,000 pounds.
You got to ride in it to really.
You got to tell me this story. When you first got the car and when you were first tuning and running the car, you were arguing with people online about the weight of your car.
Oh yeah, man.
Explorer ST guys.
Yeah.
Your car weighs almost as much.
So I don't know. I'm sure the guys, most of our customers are like there's like a Facebook page, Draggy Talk, where everybody posts draggy times, right? And there's like all these Explorer ST guys who are like showing, and I had an Explorer ST, so I think it's a terrible car. I had it for my wife. She hated it. I hated it. I tuned it. It
was your comment against the ST that got all the ST boys.
Yeah. Yeah, but like Explorer STs suck. They're not fast, and these guys are putting tons of money into them, and they're like, and then you have Kyle with like half as much money, not even like a quarter of the money into his X3 M40i, and he's gapping all these Explorer STs like by far. Like there's upgraded turbo Explorer STs that lose to a stock turbo.
He's racing boosted V8s now.
Yeah,
it's not even a comparison.
So it's just a stupid car, and so these guys, I wouldn't care. Like everyone can enjoy whatever car they want, right? Oh, is that what the hell did he turn on?
The Z.
Anyways, yeah, I got annoyed because they were posting all these slow times, and I'm like, you know what, whatever. So, and they're like, their defense for why their STs were slow and why I was impressed was like, oh, they're heavy. So I'm like, oh, they're heavy? All right, bet. Let's post the S8 running like a 10.4 stock turbos on E40, right? And I posted that, and I was like, I think I said something like, still better than an ST or something, or no, I said faster and heavier than an ST. That was my comment in the Draggy Talk post that I made. And all these guys are like, no, it's not. And they're like arguing. They're like, bro, I have the car. Like...
You have both cars.
Yeah, I've had both, literally. And then I even went and I found like, this guy was like going after me, and I went and I found the window sticker for my freaking Explorer ST. I'm like, look, this thing was lighter than my S8. And he still wouldn't believe me. And he's like, oh, that's not right. Well, I'm like, okay, man, I'm not arguing this. Anyway. So yeah, it's the best car I've ever owned. I fell into the deep rabbit hole, and I found out that the S8 actually has, so the S6 and S7, as well as the A8, all have the high compression version of the 4.0 with smaller turbos, which just, it's, from what I researched, is not as reliable when you go high boost. However, there are some really fast S6 and S7s, and I tuned them, and for the most part, there's not much of a difference, but I was like, you know what? I want the RS7 motor, and the S8 has the lower compression RS7 motor with the bigger turbos. And the S8 comes with the ZF8, which the S6 and S7 don't, and I wanted the ZF8. I didn't want a DCT.
I'm jealous that you have a stronger version of ZF8.
Yeah, the ZF8 and the S8 takes a lot of abuse. So yeah, and then I looked at RS7 prices, and to a certain extent, I kind of wish that we did get an RS7 because we've gotten way more clout. Like I see like 2014 RS7s, like not even an RS7 performance, not even anything fancy, like a base model RS7, and they'll get crazy attention. And the S8, like no one...
They look so sick.
Yeah, no one gives the S8 a second thought, right? And it's like, well, for a shop car,
Or
like a Halo car.
You didn't get a R7?
No. I'm not regretting it, but I did for that reason kind of have a tinge of regret. But I think I got really lucky with the S8 I bought too. So me and Mo were looking, and we saw all these listings, and there was one in Dallas that had been sitting on the lot for like 180 days, and I'm like, yo, why is this one not selling, right? And it has some cool features, like it has a very rare interior, the Vermont Brown interior package. It's fully loaded except for night vision, and it was high mileage, but like you could tell from the pictures that the car had been well taken care of, and that it was all like highway miles, because it was always serviced at the dealer. And like, you know, like it was like it has service history every 5,000 miles for the, and it was at 84,000 miles when I bought it. And so I was like, yo, that's pretty good for an 80,000 mile car. The interior was in perfect condition, you know, no tears in the leather. The side bolsters were good.
Previous owner put like 4S's all around.
The previous owner had PS4s all around.
We ran the hell out of those tires.
Yo, we were cutting 1.6s while those things were sparking.
We ran the 93 times like 10.7 on those tires while it was like cold as hell out.
Yeah,
we're crab walking on that car with the tires sparking on the ground.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
We did a 691, 6130 with those tires.
With those tires on E40.
It was like he was following me when I did that, and you can see the tires sparking off the hit.
It was a lot of fun. I think I got a video of it too at some point, but so that car's been so much fun for me, man. But I was like, you know what, this just feels right. Sometimes you just see a car, you're like, yo, I really want it, and I got really into it. It has a nice color that they no longer have, which is moonlight blue, it's a really nice, it's like black, blue in the sun. Got a nice flake to it, and it had PPF on the whole front, and I'm like, yo, you know, whole front PPF, they either ordered that from factory or they got it done. Either way, they cared about this car. And then you could see that, and this is normally a negative, it had a lot of rock chips, right? But at 80,000 miles, rock chips just means this thing was always highway driven. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna I'll take a gamble on this car. I'm sure it's well maintained, and I got it, and it's been flawless, man. Like, it's taken all the abuse we've thrown at it. Dude, we've done what, like 250 draggy launches?
So I have like confirmed like 150 plus draggy launches, like a full quarter mile runs. My draggy
just his. Doesn't include when I go out. Doesn't include all the roll race nights.
And then there's 6130s. We've done a ton of those because we were really trying to push that for a while. Because
it's been reliable, man. For an older German car that's like really had a lot of miles on it.
Old, but like 2016 is not that
old. But like if you look at the tech inside, like the interior is from 2011.
It's starting to age.
It's the 2011 A8 interior, right? Which is still really nice, but it was really nice in 2011. But like in 2016, it was probably still okay. But in 2023, you're like, bro, you know, you want a few more creature comforts, I guess. But the one thing I will say is that car is like, it's solid, man. Like if you have not driven an S8 and you own a Q50, like go drive an S8. You will fall in love because it's everything that the Q50 isn't. It handles better than the Q50, which is funny considering it's like
heavier, bigger,
like over 1,000 pounds heavier, right? It's longer, it's wider.
It's the way the chassis set up.
Yeah, it's so comfortable. Like with the air suspension, it's the most comfortable car I have. Even it's more comfortable than my new RS e-tron GT with the air suspension. Yeah, way more comfortable than NCS e-tron with the. She also has air suspension. I don't know, man. It's probably the long wheelbase helps a lot. But it is also the D4 S8s were all short wheelbase. The new D5 S8s are all on the long wheelbase. So I'm sure they handle a little bit differently, but I don't know how to explain it, man. Like that car, it's crazy. It's 90,000 miles, has no rattles. My brand new Audi has rattles, but my 90,000 mile Audi has 0 rattles. You know, and that's after hard launches, like.
They don't make them like they used to.
I sound like a boomer, but like I kind of feel that way, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. The only thing I will say is after adding the inner chiller during this summer, which was especially bad, I did notice that the AC sometimes when it was like 115 outside, I was like, yo, I'm a little hot, you know, but can I really complain? Like every car's hot at that point. Like I drove other cars. I'm like, okay, everyone's car, the AC just doesn't get cold. And I might commute 7 minutes to home. So like I can't really complain if the car's not getting cold in 7 minutes, right? Yeah, well, you guys sit in traffic all day, I know. So yeah, I talked a lot. That was like a lot of verbal diarrhea. But I love my S8.
Let's wrap it up a little bit on the Audi, but okay, I'm gonna skip all that because we kind of pretty much.
Yeah, it exceeded all my. There's a question here about how how it ran versus my expectations, it's exceeded all my expectations. And then also, how is it compared to the competitors, or what is its biggest competitor? I think the S8. Yeah, no, I think the M5.
M5. Yeah.
I would say the S8's biggest competitors are the M5.
Yeah.
M5 and then the S63 or an E63. Really, I think the E63 is kind of small compared to an S8. The M5 is small compared to an S8, but it's also, they don't make an M7, so I can't really compare an M7, right? But and I would definitely say that like the S8 is like the Goldilocks car. It's like an S63 is too luxe. Okay, not in a bad way. It's just very luxurious, right? And then the M5 is like very much. It's like, you know, it is a sports car. The S8's like right in between. It's like just right. It's like, you know, it's still got that like I don't know, what's the right word for it? It's got that, like that brute feeling in it, but it's still very comfortable. I think the S8 kind of just fits in its own category, man.
Once tuned, the most surprising thing to people is the way it pulls off off like a 40-year-old. Even Alex and Kyle, they've been in fast cars. They've driven fast cars. They've had fast cars. I took them out once after it's all done and tuned and ethanol and everything. It was like we were 4 deep in the car. Somebody else was in the car too.
Yeah.
We're 4 deep in the car, and they're like, "Oh, brake boosted." I'm like, "All right, 40-year-old brake boosted."
Yeah.
Like, and I do it in 3rd gear, so it's like I'd rather lower RPM when the torque kicks in. And then when it kicked in, they're like, I was ready for it, but they were not. They were like, this like.
It always gets you by surprise. The car always crab walks. Like it's got so much torque that you always have to correct the steering just a little bit, no matter how good the traction is, even on a track. And speaking of that, will I ever take it to a track? Yeah, maybe. I'm afraid of breaking axles, man. I've broken so many axles. I don't even want to do digs anymore.
Which Rodney should be.
Yeah, so we finally so now that I have a new daily with the e-tron, which by the way, electric cars are great dailies. Now that I have a new daily, I finally put the stage 1 turbos and meth in the car. So now we can run hopefully higher ethanol content with some supplemental methanol fueling, and then see what it does. So it'll be fun. Ronnie should be finishing that up soon. So
he said today, so we'll see.
We'll see. If he finishes it, he's gonna go run a 60 to 130 tomorrow.
Final question for the S8. What's Dong's favorite flavor of Audi coolant? I hate you.
So
do we even want to get into that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Dude, we're 30 minutes into this and we're still on your Audi.
Okay. So these are metal reservoir tanks that I fabricated, or I had fabricated, rather. I designed and then had fabricated for the S8. Prior to this, there were 7 revisions of 3D printed plastic tanks?
For the people in the video, I'm gonna grab them right now.
Grab one. So with the inner chiller, what we realized was we needed extra coolant capacity because we would run through, you know, whatever's in the lines very quickly. And so, and obviously the AC turns off during a full pull, right? So I designed a place to put these like 1.5 gallon reservoir tanks. Unfortunately, they would eventually overpressurize.
These are repaired a few times.
These are repaired, yeah. That's why you can see the epoxy all around. Anyway, so Chidong has literally
I don't ever want to see these ever again.
Literally drank Audi coolant like probably 7 or 8 times when he's been like trying to repair one of these, and they just burst on him.
Yep,
or I give him a new set and they burst immediately when installing because there was too much pressure. And so I had these metal ones made, and he hasn't had to do it since. But yeah, this was a good time. This is what, like 3 months of you just drinking coolant every week.
I think more, dude. The car sat for a little bit.
It did.
But moving on, we can.
We talked about the e-tron. I'm gonna skip it. Yeah,
I'm gonna skip to the part because I saw.
Unless you guys have more questions about EVs, then I can answer that later.
We can get into it a little bit about EVs, especially when it comes to tuning EVs and the future of tuning for EV cars.
So there actually is a tune for the e-trons and the Porsche Taycans and all that, and because the e-tron's based on the e-tron GT is based on the Taycan, but I really want to do it, but I don't want to mess with my daily and
I don't think your e-tron's a great shop car for you to develop stuff on.
Yeah,
because you should have at least.
But you
one
know what?
car
it gets hella clout, bro.
Yeah, I bet.
We took it to Cars and Coffee, and I got mad at these guys. They didn't want to park in VIP. I'm like, bro, we have like the only Z that comes to Cars and Coffee. We have a G80 Comp. Right. We have an RS e-tron GT.
Quick tangent about this. I hate events like Cars and Coffee sometimes because they're such elitist jerks. Like they don't care about they don't care about tuner cars. They don't care about modified cars. They don't care about race cars.
You know what would make them care?
What?
You know what make them care?
What?
If you took your brand new Z to VIP so people could see tuner cars.
No.
You're the problem.
No, because they will deny it, even
No,
like,
they
even
won't.
Like,
no, they won't. They moved the cones for us to bring it. He wouldn't come in.
What?
Yes, the guy was moving the cones last time when he pulled up.
Pulled out?
Pulled up. When we were pulling in, he moved the cones for us to turn in, but you didn't want to go, so we all kept going straight.
I don't remember this. I thought they don't even let cars like that in.
No, they do.
But anyways,
also if you rolled it with the e-tron and the G80 comp, they put a base G80 in there.
Yeah.
They would have put a G80 comp. Anyway, it gets clout. So EV cars are fun. You can tune them. Basically, all you're doing is increasing the discharge rate and just being, give it all the beans, right? It's kind of it's kind of like the best comparison is like throwing all the boost at a turbo and just letting the car eat. Except in this case, you're just discharging the batteries as fast as you can and throwing all the power at the motors. So there is ways, but they're going to avoid warranties. And I'm sure so electric cars are already with the batteries and stuff. That's the most expensive part about replacing them. So I'm sure there will be a heavy cost associated with tuning your EVs, right? But that's essentially what Tesla does, right? Like ludicrous mode on the P100Ds before, now we have the Model S Plaid and all that. But before the Plaid, the ludicrous mode was a software unlock. It wasn't anything else. It was basically a tune for an electric car, right? And so I think we will see a lot of tuning options for EVs. It's just a matter of like whether manufacturers are gonna be okay with that. How quickly they deny your warranty. Like I'm sure if I do this to my Audi and then something happens, they're gonna be like, "Yo, warranty denied."
They'll probably like plug something in and immediately see that. Oh,
and I can totally see like manufacturers being like, "Oh, well, because you messed with the power delivery, I guess, right, of the motors and the battery. If you have some other like unrelated electrical issue, which a lot of these EV cars have, where they have like infotainment issues or random electrical problems, they'll probably just deny it and be like, well, you mess with this, and we don't know how that affected it because everything's connected, right? It's all electric. So I can see that being a problem. But I mean, I think EV cars are fun. I think if you hate EVs, you really got to drive one, man. Like, I understand that there's no sounds, there's no engine, there's none of that, but they're so much fun to drive. Like that instant torque. Like, what do you think? You've driven all the fast cars. You have a Force.
I haven't driven your.
Yeah, you have.
Your e-tron. Yeah.
You haven't driven it, but you've been in it.
Yeah.
What did you think of like?
Different.
It just slams you.
I will never get on board with it because I'm a racer at heart. I have to have.
He would rather have a 15 second Civic Si than have a fast electric car.
Yeah, I would. It's just not the same, dude. It's just not like as like I guess that type of car person I am. Like I have to have internal combustion and room noise.
Okay, he sucks. Don't listen to him. Go drive an EV. See how you like it, but drive like a fast EV, not like a shitty one. Not like a Kia EV6 or something, man. Like get
the Ioniq.
Go drive. 6, honestly, what was it? Gobin drove a Model S Plaid, and he was like losing his mind. Yeah. He was like, "Bro, this is so much fun."
That's a stock 4-second 60 to 130 crazy. Car. It's mid to high.
It would gap you stock like a random person
in SDA. It doesn't matter.
A random person who just bought a Model S Plaid off the street, lined up against him, doesn't know how to race, lets him get the hit and everything, would still gap his 800 horsepower Supra.
But it's twice the price of the Supra, though.
It's not. They dropped the price now. It's not that
$100,000.
Bro, they're $80K. A Model S Plaid is like $89K, I think, starting. That's not bad. It's a great value proposition.
Yeah.
Supra you're gonna buy for $60K new.
Yeah, like 50 used. Like 50 or
high and you're gonna add $20K to get to 800 horsepower reliably, and a Model S Plaid will still gap you.
Yeah.
I will say though, it's
not the same.
The Audi doesn't feel dead, but the Model S Plaid does, and it's weird because the Model S with the track pack or whatever, on paper actually outperforms a lot of like really good track cars. But it just doesn't feel like it. Like when you're driving it, it still just feels dead, right? And the e-tron's less so because they kind of made it so it feels like a heavy Grand Tour, and which is another thing. They're very heavy. Like you really do feel the weight when you're taking the cars around corners fast and stuff like that. You feel the weight all the time. So that's one thing. That's one challenge that unless there's like revolutionary battery technology, I think EVs are always like fast EVs that have like decent range are always gonna just be pigs, and it's gonna be hard. But most of us are straight line guys, so. In a straight line, they're fun. I don't know what else can we really talk about with EVs, bro.
Not really much until we see more of them out there.
I mean, we need to see ones that are tunable, right?
Yeah.
I think we haven't gotten there yet. But when we do it, what are you looking at?
The next part of the podcast, I had an idea of answering some of our questions on our YouTube comments.
Okay, let's do
it. From
it.
our most recent video. I mean, I have it pulled up, but you can also pull it up too.
No, we can talk about
let me read this one. So the most recent one we got is so it's a question about the AMS intercoolers. Okay. On our Z, for example, is it worth it? I think he's asking with the interchiller, is it still worth it to upgrade intercoolers?
Let me read
on
the
a car. I think that's what he's asking.
Thanks for the info, man. You're welcome. One question: AMS interchiller will be worthy, or stock intercoolers with interchillers? Oh, okay, yeah. He's asking. He's asking whether you do the AMS. Yeah, man, they're definitely worth it because
it's still cool.
they still like. They're just much better at heat transfer, right? So all you're doing with the interchiller is you're adding cooler fluid for them to use, but they're still that much better at transferring the heat over that you will see better gains and better charge air temps overall through a pull. Or I guess more stable is a better word. Like a better transfer of heat back to the fluid with the AMS intercooler. So 100%, I would say definitely get them. And we'll have some data from our old Z versus the new Z now with the intercoolers, now that the interchiller's on. So we can show some data on that.
Another question. I guess we kind of talked about this, not in just podcasts, but in videos. But can you explain the differences between the Z turbos and just the regular?
Z turbos are smaller. They die off way earlier. Like a Q50 will hold on 93 about 400 horsepower to redline. A Z will not. The Z is like down to 350, 360. And if you want more, you really have to roast the turbos, which obviously we don't want to do. So. The Z turbos are small. I remember Z1 was one of the first people to tell us about that before the Z was released when they had gotten their hands on one of the long blocks. And they had said, yeah, the turbos are a little bit smaller. So they spool quicker. Like we had a lot of trouble early on. Not trouble, but like it exceeded our expectations. The car will make torque really easily. So compared to a Q, you have to really work it in to ramp it in a lot slower than what we did on the Q because the turbos will spool right off the hit. So it makes for nice launches, and that's why they launch pretty hard, I think. But Qs launch just as hard when we tune them like that. But either way, the turbos are smaller, so they spool faster and die off quicker up top. That's the main difference. I don't think they're any better or worse in any other regard other than that. They still Nissan quality. I mean, they still smoke. I mean, so like our last Z on the same exact setup had zero smoke, right? This one with less miles on it. It smokes, and it's like
we were way nicer to this one.
Yeah, you know what? Break-ins are stupid. Because don't break in cars. This is proof that you shouldn't break in cars. We also
tuned it on stock, complete stock, and we ran those turbos with complete stock exhaust for a while before.
That could have been it too.
But the new one we put downpipes on immediately. We didn't do any of that. So the first Z took more beating. The stock turbos took more beating.
Yeah,
and it didn't smoke at all.
Yeah, these ones suck.
It's just QC.
Nissan quality control, as always, bro. Like we had all hoped that they would do better with the Z, but I don't think they will. But at least they dropped the price of blocks.
Yeah.
$6K. So if y'all boom your blocks, it's cheaper now. Hopefully, used blocks go down. So
get them from Z1.
All those porous blocks and stuff can be replaced for cheaper now. I'm waiting to see a porous block on the Z. I know it's going to happen.
Really?
I'm sure someone's going to end up with a porous
after block. How many years? It's a decade now.
If they were going to fix it, they would have fixed it on the Qs. Think about it. They're not selling more Zs than they ever sold Qs.
Wouldn't they want to fix all the issues they had on the Qs with VR30? When they released the Z,
but they're not selling that much. Like think about it. If the sales numbers didn't justify it for a Q, why would the Z sales numbers justify it? They're selling way less Zs.
It's like their flagship sports car. They have to make sure it's good.
Yeah, the marketing worked. That's all that matters. They don't care about reliability.
Just like the little lipped pulley that they released.
Finally, all of a sudden now they're like, oh, belts are a problem. We've been saying it for like 6 years.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Another thing about the Z, this is one of the comments I already answered, but I guess it's worth talking about. You know how on the Q50s there's the AMS sells a regular and a race heat exchanger? It's a smaller and a bigger one because they maximize the use of the space in the bumper. But what I don't think people understand, a lot of people haven't seen what's under the Z.
The heat exchangers don't fit.
There's no space.
Yeah.
So people were asking if we had the regular AMS heat exchanger versus the race one on RZ.
They only have one heat exchanger for the Z. There's no race heat exchanger.
I don't think there's space to put an even bigger one.
Yeah, the Z's got a long nose, so like it's cool because we can fit our little interchiller block there, right? But It's not.
It's still
width-wise, it's a lot narrower.
It's still the same Z34 chassis from the 370Z, and there's extra coolers
parts
and stuff in a way.
It's a parts bin special.
Yeah. Well, at least they didn't.
It's a facelifted Z34. Oh God, I spit. It's a facelifted Z34 with a VR30.
I mean, I guess that's the only way they can develop the car without going to someone else for the drivetrain.
Or
like Toyota.
Yeah, or going bankrupt because they're not doing well.
But yeah, like there's extra coolers in the way, and it's a lot less space like horizontally to fit anything. So if AMS can come out with an option to get an even bigger core in there, I don't know how they will.
Yeah, I know.
I'll be cool because it did take 2-3 years for AMS to do the race one since the first one came out.
No, even longer than that. They came out with the first heat exchanger a long time ago. Yeah. Bro. It's been a while.
So maybe in a few years we'll see.
Maybe. I know AMS plans to develop a lot for the Z, so I hope that sales numbers get better. I hope that people buy a lot of Nismos and that Nissan ups production of the Zs and that we see more of them on the street. They're a beautiful car. A fender tank would be nice.
For
if someone could make us a fender tank, please.
Z1, AMS, anybody.
So I don't have to 3D print them and have him eat coolant. Ooh. I should 3D print one and have you eat coolant.
Huh? Please don't.
You can taste Nissan coolant.
AMS, Z1, anybody, please make one, please, before he makes me go down that route again. Another comment. They were asking about the Z1 intakes for the Z, but I believe
never tested them.
I believe the Z1 intakes are stock math housing though, because they said no tune required on their website.
Yeah, I mean, the Boosted 6 are also stock math housing, and they surprised us. So I'd like to test it, but apparently I can't test open hood on my dyno, so I guess I won't do it again.
You can't call your customers.
Whatever. That guy's never gonna buy a tune from us anyway. I don't care.
Yeah. More exhaust questions like 3-inch versus 4-inch. Yeah.
Testing a catback's doable. We could test like a 2.5 inch versus a 3-inch.
You want me to read you the question that the guy asked?
No. Oh. No, I've already read that one. No, it's fine.
It's so many things we have to do make this happen, bro.
Yeah, I know.
And 93 versus E30 and E85.
We'd like to try it. Honestly, we'd like to try it. We just don't have the manpower, man. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe if we're ever really bored for a couple days and we have no work, we'll do that, but I don't see that happening for a while. We have cars lined up out the shop all the time.
Yeah, so. I think that will take more than a couple of days.
Like, to work on my own cars, I've waited, 3 months to get any of my cars touched because we've just been back to back. This is the first break we've had where 2 of my cars are being worked on at the same time right now.
Yeah, finally the shop cars get
someone buy our old Q50. It's got 8,000 miles to 2021. Never abused, adult driven. It's got a new motor in it.
That's good.
Someone buy it, please.
Anyways.
Memorabilia. You can be like, yeah, it's the RACEBOX.
Oh, this is Hussein's car.
Yeah. Dude, I'll sign the headrest for you.
People are obsessed with anything Hussein, bro.
That's so weird.
It's weird. It is weird. Like, when I first came into this company, I didn't think it would be like that. Like, it's not like I'm working for like a huge, like really well-known shop of like a celebrity as an owner.
I'm really not.
I guess within the community you are.
It's always nice when people post my birthday. That's the nicest thing, honestly.
I'm just stroking his ego.
Is where they say happy birthday to. Like, those little community posts are so cute. The Audi community did it for me.
I like the
4O groups wrote a happy birthday for me.
Really?
That was nice. Yeah, it was sweet.
In the Audi group?
Yeah.
What?
It was nice. I'm
not doubting you, but like, damn, that's.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was like, oh, cool. I didn't know I had an impact in here. So,
I like the post Mark made on Facebook.
Yeah, with all the pictures of us.
From Echo, you were I think you were piggyback riding him. Is that even the right term? Yeah.
He's a noble steed.
Yeah. Fun times.
But yeah, I think we're out of things to talk about.
Yeah.
I really don't know what direction to take this podcast in. Like, I feel like we can only do questions and talk about our cars so much before it's like you need a larger audience. Right?
The last time we talked about like we can invite people other than RACEBOX guys in here to talk.
But we should think of like other topics to talk about. You guys honestly stop suggesting stuff like questions. I know you guys want to hear, and we can have a Q&A segment, so we'll keep that going where we do like a VR30 RACEBOX Q&A. Give us ideas on what you'd like to hear us talk about. Or if you're like, yo, I don't want to hear your opinions on anything, shut up, Hussein, that's cool. Like, give me facts you want to hear. Like, I'll read up on topics that you're curious about. Like, you're like, hey, this strangely related automotive thing, can you look into it and explain it to me? Like, I'd love to just read things and learn more, man, and then talk about them. So yeah, give us ideas.
I have a question for you.
What?
What is the next? What's another platform you would like to tune or get into?
That's still RACEBOX related, bro. But I'll answer it. That's not what I was getting at.
But I'm just saying, like, it's like I've been wondering, like, we've done VR30 for a while, obviously. B58s too.
You know, I've pondered this because like any good business owner should. You should think about what's next, right?
Yeah.
And so here's the problem, right? I'd love to do more American cars, like Chevys and stuff like that, like LT4s, LT1s, LF4s. I love tuning those. They're a lot of fun. And HP tuners are such a great. I understand why they all rave about HP tuners for GM cars specifically because it's a very nice complete software. But there's just too much competition on the American side, and also there's that stigma of he's
and Nissan.
He's a Nissan tuner. He can't tune even
the
V8
guys.
Yeah, there's people are like, he's I don't want a VQ tuner tuning my car. I'm like, first of all, I don't tune. I mean, I do tune VQs, but they're referencing Q50s, Q60s are not VQs. And then
all the VQ boys are crying right now.
I mean, it's fine. Boosted VQ is something where we are getting into that, but it's one of those where you really have to work with a shop that does good kits. And so DMS, we work with them and we tune their boosted VQs, right? And we'll tune anybody that comes with like, hey, I have a boosted VQ we want to tune, but it's not something I actively push. The GTR scenes, it's overdone in my opinion. There's too many people. I don't want to get into that. I tune them for, customers of mine who have gone from a Q50 to a GTR who come to me like, hey, can you tune my GTR? I'll tune them, but I don't generally push that. B58s we're pushing. It's slowly growing. We got a few fast cars. Eddie's pretty quick with his M240i. Yeah. M240i on a T3 flange. Dumbass. If you build your motor, size the turbo correctly, please.
We talked about this last time too.
Bro. Anyway, the Audis I'm doing. I mean, there's a lot of Audi the 4.0 cars out there. It's surprisingly a pretty saturated platform for tuning though. Like I didn't think so when I got into it, but I'm starting to see it. It's pretty saturated, but it's cool. I mean, I like tuning those. Dazas are fun. Again, very saturated. A lot of bandwagoning on that.
I think a short-term goal for RACEBOX is it should be getting an actual fast car as a shop car that we can actually build and take to actual.
What is everything that we have here?
Slow. Even the Supra. I'm saying like cars that runs like 8s and 7s. Like that'll be like.
Who's gonna drive it? You?
Anybody that want to drive it.
Give me suggestions for a Halo car. A very tunable Halo car.
So for a while I'm obsessed with Hondas because I'm fucking a racer. But
all right, all-wheel drive when your Supra leases up, sell it, get an all-wheel drive type Integra Type S.
But like it's not that simple.
Or RSX Type S.
It's RSX, yeah. It's not that simple as just getting one. It's a lot of work.
Buy one that's already all-wheel drive swapped.
That's like a lot of money. Like a well-built one will go for pretty penny.
I would actually really like an all-wheel drive RSX Type S.
It's such a not just a clout car, but those are such a fun platform to get into. It's such a light car. It's so nimble. You can throw a ton of power at it, and with the right tuning. These guys, the TRC guys on a Motec with their Motec traction control.
It would be fun.
That car hook and book.
I would genuinely like to build a car that is on like crazy, full standalone and just do everything with it. That would be a lot of fun.
We've done Motec stuff before, but it's just like we don't have like a fast car that we can tune on Motec. That would be insane.
Maybe next year, 2024, we'll do that. We'll look into that. We should have a Halo car that we show up to events with, and we always have that. But like the other thing is though, right?
The Super for that to get out there and race these people or show how.
I don't say that. I would never advocate racing. I would never advocate racing.
Yeah, but the Super
only on a track.
The Super's not that fast when you compare it to
It's a good street car though.
Yeah,
it's a good street car.
I know. Okay, we're in Houston, man. Like you go to these meets, like
this is dumb. Why don't we just build like an LS7 Vet?
Well, like stock motor Coyotes.
You know what? What? I would actually really like to get into tuning Coyotes. A boosted Coyote build would be fun.
Yeah.
Like a Gen 3, not the dark one. The Gen 4, it's so funny.
It's so slow.
Bro, it's so funny. All the drama between the Gen 3 and Gen 4 guys. Oh my god.
I think a Dark Horse is running like 12s with like it's gutted with a tire.
I saw that. There's one that broke into the 11s and the dude was like first to the 11s and I was like, bro, please.
Q50s can do that with 2 only, bro.
Bro. I should have commented that. Oh man. Coyotes would be fun.
It's hard to get into that market.
There's not
like
you know what I truly want.
Yeah.
I want to do 911 Turbo S's or 911 Turbos, or an R8. I think that's, for me personally, that's the next car that I personally want to like mess with and tune, just because they're so tunable. And you know, the stock motors are, at least the 911 Turbo S is pretty overbuilt. The R8, the V10, it handles power pretty well, but you know, I know that once they get up there, you start building. But like a Turbo S, man, and there's Turbo S's they're heavy now though. Actually, I was gonna say they're light, but they're pretty heavy now.
3,800.
Yeah, they're pretty heavy now. I'd like you know what we should buy? An older Turbo S. Like
kind of sketchy though.
997.
Like if you make a 997 fast, it's a sketchy. Okay.
I saw one for sale.
Any Porsche, when you make them fast, it's sketchy.
Nah, bro.
Bro. I mean, if you want to drive it, you want to run 8s on the street like all those fast Porsches.
Yo, let's buy a 997 or 996 Turbo S. Full send it.
Built motor,
but
bit of turbos.
How do the stock motors do on those cars?
I don't know. All the fast ones, obviously, they all have like crazy setups, but I don't really see people do like.
I don't know, man. I also don't know.
Here in Houston, that has hybrid turbos on the stock motor. The ES 800 package.
Yeah.
Whatever. Those are pretty quick. Like those run.
That's a 991 though, right? That's that Nate guy.
Yeah, Nate.
Yeah, it's a 991.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's newer. It's a 2016.
Yeah.
I don't know. I also, part of me doesn't want. How do I phrase this? It's a lot of money to do that for very little gain. Also, like from a business perspective, right?
You're getting away from our audience.
Exactly. Our Q50 guys aren't going to care that we have a fast 911 Turbo or a fast RSX Type S. Mm-hmm. It also alienates your regular customer.
Yeah.
I really wish the Q50s and the VR30s had like a built engine program that we could really push these cars like the 4 digits. That'd be fun, man. Like having a bunch of 8-second Q50s running around.
Or Z's.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty sick. Isn't AMS doing their VR32 or whatever it's called?
AMS they told me that they are working on their built engine program. And when that comes out, you know, I'll line up to buy one, man. I'd love a built engine that's reliable.
Because it's a forged block, right? It's a completely new block.
I don't know. Is that what they're doing?
Because isn't that the only way?
Who told you that?
I'm just like.
I don't think so.
It's still a stock block.
Yeah, it's still gonna be a stock block. You know how expensive a billet block would be? Are you crazy?
Just a block, a big
block. Probably more. IAG makes those billet blocks, don't they? IAG makes billet blocks for Subaru. Yeah. Yo, IAG, watch my podcast, watch my videos, and make a billet block for VR30.
It's like the only way to really fix the VR30 when it comes to high
because
horsepower.
it's shitty casting. Yeah. It's the problem with the VR30 is quality control and shitty casting. And so, if we could resolve that, that'd be great. Yeah, I don't know.
We should end on that. Just
yeah.
Somebody make a forged block or better block for the VR30 and we can really push the platform.
Give me topics to talk about.
Yeah. Other than questions.
Other than questions.
I think questions are getting boring.
It's boring for us too. Like I wanted this podcast to be like an outlet to talk about other things and we could kind of expand just into, and it's not even like, I don't even expect this to be like hugely popular or anything like that, man. I just did it because it's fun to sit and chat.
I still don't know if we should have done a second channel. We should have put this on our main channel. But
it affected our views, bro.
I don't know, bro. Like, our first podcast, even though it was really shitty.
Yeah, but that's because we just capitalized on all of our subscribers. Like, of course you're going to get that, but eventually they would have stopped watching it like that.
Yeah.
Also, you got to promote it more.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want to post all about it on our main page because it's like...
But you should, because it still is us.
Yeah.
This is why I need a new marketing person. Please, find me a new Gen Z.
Please, I quit.
This one's expired.
We need not Gen Z, a Gen Alpha.
Oh, God.
That's the guys you need to run on TikToks and shit.
Bro,
I don't
think I could.
If you're a high schooler...
I think if we had a Gen Alpha in here, I'd probably just never show up to work.
Didn't we have Doug?
Is he Gen Z still?
No.
Really?
Wait, 2000, how old is he? Like 15?
Ronnie's still Gen Z.
Yeah, but when does Gen Alpha start? Like
I don't
2000
know.
something.
Bro, I don't know these
If you're a high schooler...
you're all children to me.
Older than 16, I think that's when you can start working. And you want a part-time job.
Me and Anna had this conversation on the podcast.
And if you want a part-time job doing TikToks and random stuff, we'll pay you more than McDonald's probably.
He'll be your manager. I will never talk to you.
I was hoping you would talk to them, but I guess... I don't like kids, bro. I don't like... Kids as in like, you know...
I would...
Gen Alphas and you were...
You're a kid.
Yeah, but it's like... I don't understand.
You're Gen Z as hell. I don't understand. You should understand Gen Alpha.
Well, people born after 2000, I don't understand. Even though I'm born in 1999.
Ronnie? Hey, yo, Ronnie. I'm gonna call him right now. Tell him you're hating on him and his people born after 2000.
Fuck Ronnie.
All right, on that we're out.
Peace out. Yeah, good night kiss. I'm not doing it though.
Do it.
No, I don't like them.
Do it.